Culotta and the Prince of Log here Tuesday morning, the day after Duke takes home their 5th national championship. Coach Mike Krzyzewski moves to second all-time behind only the Wizard of Westwood, John Wooden, who has 10, a part of UCLA's program. Last night, you and I liked the Blue Devils going into the game for the simple fact, Prince, that it seemed like each week, each game throughout this tournament, they just continued to get better and build more confidence.
Yeah, and the younger guys, they continue to mature, and I think that one of the sound bites we played from Coach Krzyzewski, he talked about that this team, as good as it was in winning the national championship, he said if the tournament went on a couple more weeks, they would get that much better. You saw this team grow up. You saw some of these younger guys, Allen and Jones, and play to the level that Okafor and Justice were playing as the season continued to go on. Duke was the best team at the end of the tournament, and that's who cuts down the nets. Game was, man, it was a good game. I kind of wish it wasn't. Wish it was a blowout, so I could have went to bed a little early. Stayed up late, watched that. Also, Sonny Gray had a no-hitter, and I couldn't turn the TV off until Sonny Gray gave up a hit in the 8th there. But still, we stay up late. We come in here. We work.
68-63, the Blue Devils take home the national championship over Wisconsin last night. Wisconsin was looking for their first natty since 1941. Bo Ryan's going to have a tough time getting that group back, losing guys like Kaminsky. You imagine that Decker will be on the way out the door as he played himself probably inside of a high lottery pick here in this tournament. Nigel Hayes is another guy who's an athlete that will probably peak towards the NBA. Yeah, I'm with you. Just a good basketball game, and at the end, the best team was standing.
Yeah, and there's two things that I want to make sure everybody understands. We know that nobody cares about how much sleep we get or we don't sleep, we don't get, and we also know that nobody cares about our or your brackets.
Hey, Cade, what time are we going to announce the official bracket winner?
Yeah.
5 p.m. today.
5 p.m. today.
5 p.m. today. All right.
J. Clem and J. Clem 2. Obviously, there was another J. Clem somewhere along the line. And Don't Tase Me, Bro, tied. The independent accounting firm that we use here for Guarantee Broadcasting is now they're in possession of all the documents, and they will come up with the winner. 5 o'clock this afternoon on After Further Review with the very important Matt Moscona. We will have the winner.
Both those guys got involved today on your morning drive. Ryan Metter called in, who was Don't Tase Me, Bro, and Justin Clemens was inside the huddle, who was J. Clem, too. All right, Benny Simmons stopped by, the top overall player in the class of 2015. Another national championship for his Mount Vernon High School team. McDonald's All-American game last week. Nike Hoop Summit today for the rest of the week. Jordan Brand All-Star game coming up on April 19th at the Barclays Center. And Baton Rouge finally in June for the 1 year he'll be down here in the South.
I would make a joke about all the frequent flyer miles he has, but he's Australian. So just coming over here, I'm sure he got a bazillion of them. In talking with him and in setting up the interview, we knew that he had a lot of things going on. Obviously he's a very in-demand young man, and he went from Chicago to New York to Phoenix, up to Oregon, going to Chicago, back to Florida to finish out his senior year. It's an awful lot of traveling, but that's what happens when you're number one player in the country. Great to talk to him. Nice to hear, the things that we saw in watching him play in the McDonald's All-American game and in playing in the national championship game, team aspects of his game. Talk to him a little bit about how uncomfortable he is in some of these all-star game situations, because he's not a guy that wants to go out there and basically just run the highlights from the N1 mixtape tour. He's a guy that likes to operate in a team concept, and looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do in purple and gold. Yeah,
look, man, the closest comparison you'll probably find to a modern-day Magic Johnson. 6'10", can handle it like a point guard, got agility like a backcourt player. It's a really good interview that you can check out at 1045ESPN.com.
And Jordy, I think as much as we talk about his offensive game, I think that he's a guy that defensively can defend 4 positions, and in the right situation could even do like Magic did once upon a time in the championship in the NBA Finals back in the day. If he had to defend a 5, and I think that when you talk to him about how important how much importance he places on defense, those are things that's how teams win. That's how a team with 4 freshmen in their starting 3 freshmen in their starting lineup and 5 freshmen that saw significant playing time like Duke can pull together and at the end of the season win a championship. I think for the longest time people thought that the best team in the ACC was Virginia.
Sure.
And then as the season progressed,
I was one of them.
Yeah, as the season progressed, you saw that this Duke team got better. That's why they play a tournament. That's why college basketball is a different sport than anybody else, because you can have a rough patch early on in the season, but so long as you get into the tournament, if you're playing your best ball when the tournament comes around, look at UConn last year.
Michigan State this year.
Absolutely. UConn wasn't the best team, but they won the tournament, and that's where you get the national championship.
All right, Will Davis was also here. You can catch that on demand today. He talked about Austin Bain moving into the weekend rotation. Jake Godfrey will get the start Wednesday night versus Northwestern. Tonight they will have UNO at the box and an eventful weekend with Auburn coming up here with LSU
I
baseball.
want to give a quick little shout-out here. We have our friend John Burke, the co-host of Bogey Nights, Wednesday nights on 104.5, 104.9 ESPN. John Burke is the glue that keeps Bogey Nights together.
Gordy Rush sitting in this week?
Yeah, absolutely. Gordy will be sitting in for Jason McKenzie, although Jason will be interviewed several times from Augusta. So we're looking forward to talking to Jason.
Show upgrades. All right, we will be back with you tomorrow morning.